Okay, so enough of me talking. It's time for you to get some hands-on experience. Hands-on experience is by far the best way to learn. You're going to struggle. You're going to come to conclusions that you wouldn't have come by merely watching videos. So I highly encourage you, if you haven't already started following along, rewind, make sure you get back to this point and follow along. And what we're going to do in the instructions that I've laid out here in this file called SQL 2016-012, which should be available from wherever you're currently watching or where you originally downloaded this video from. We're going to take several steps. We're going to add a publishers table and relate that to the books table, and then we're going to start adding, or rather inserting, data into the publishers table, the authors, and the books table, and relating an author and a book and a publisher together. All right. And then finally, we're going to select and make sure that we've correctly added the data per the instructions. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is add a new publishers table. You should know how to do that already, right? We're going to create two columns, a publisher ID and a name column. The publisher ID will be an integer. We're going to set it to an identity column and make it the primary key. The name column, easy, and varchar 50. That's step number one. Step number two then is that we're going to create a formal relationship between the books table and the publishers table by defining a new, editing the books table, adding a new column called publishers ID or publisher ID to the books table, and then we're going to create a foreign key between books and publishers. Remember how to do that? We just did it like 2 videos ago. And then we're going to go and use insert statements. You can't use the SQL Server Management Studio like we learned about previously. I want you to use insert statements to insert 3 publishers that you see listed there. I don't care what the IDs are. That's not really important, although they probably will be 1, 2, and 3, right? Then I want you to add the following authors: Kurt Vonnegut, Ernest Hemingway, George Orwell, Herman Melville, John Steinbeck. I want you to create these books, so each author will have written one book, and I want you to make the relationship between the author and the book. And then finally, I want you to add the relationship between one of the 3 publishers with each of the books. All right. Finally, then, in step number 4, I want you to use select statements to make sure that you've got 3 publishers, 5 authors, and 5 books, and that they all have data in the appropriate columns to create the primary foreign key relationships. All right. I know you can do it. You may not think you can do it, but if you struggle, that may mean you need to review some of the videos that you've already watched. So I'm not going to hold your hand here up front, but if you get stuck while trying to work your way through this, don't worry. You can watch the next video, but only watch enough of the solution video to get unstuck and then continue on and continue to struggle from there. But again, it's the best way to really learn is to struggle your way through some of these things and get hands-on experience. So even if you get stuck, you watch a little bit of the video, stop watching the entire video and continue on, but then at the very end, compare what you did with what I did. If you think you're finished with the exercise, you might see something I do slightly different than what you did, or at least confirm that you did the right thing. And then we'll continue on into lesson 14 after that. All right, so we'll pick it back up in the solution video. In the very next video, we'll see you there. Thanks.